Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on an incredible journey back in time, to a moment that literally changed the world and redefined what was possible for humanity. We're talking about the Wright brothers, and that seemingly fragile, impossible leap they took into the sky. Imagine, for a moment, the world before flight. Travel was slow, oceans were vast barriers, and the idea of soaring above the clouds was confined to myths and dreams, to Icarus, to Daedalus, to fanciful tales. For centuries, humans gazed up at birds with a mixture of envy and awe, longing for that freedom, that perspective. Think about the sheer audacity of even considering such a thing. It wasn't just about building a machine, it was about conquering an ancient, deeply ingrained limitation. It was about challenging gravity itself, a force we take for granted every single day. Now, fast forward to the late 19th century. The air was thick with innovation, but also with dashed hopes. Many brilliant minds, inventors, and daring individuals had tried and failed to achieve sustained flight. Some experiments were dangerous, others comical, all of them humbling. The scientific community, for the most part, was skeptical, almost dismissive. They called it impractical, a fool's errand. The consensus was that humans were simply too heavy, too clumsy, too earthbound to ever truly fly. It seemed like an insurmountable barrier, a fundamental law of nature that simply couldn't be broken. But then, in Dayton, Ohio, two brothers, Wilbur and Orville Wright, quietly pursued their passion. They weren't famous scientists or wealthy industrialists. They were bicycle mechanics. Yes, bicycle mechanics. What an incredible detail. This seemingly mundane profession actually gave them a unique advantage. Working with bicycles taught them invaluable lessons about balance, control, and the delicate interplay between rider and machine. They understood aerodynamics in a practical, intuitive way that many academics missed. They weren't just theorizing, they were building, tinkering, and most importantly, observing. Their approach was methodical, almost obsessive. While others focused on brute force engines, the Wrights understood that control was key. They realized that flight wasn't just about getting off the ground. It was about staying in the air and navigating safely. They spent years watching birds, meticulously studying how they twisted their wings for control. This observation led them to the revolutionary concept of wing warping, a flexible wing design that allowed them to steer the aircraft. A groundbreaking idea that formed the basis for modern ailerons. It's hard to overstate how critical this insight was. Without it, flying machines would have been little more than uncontrolled gliders. They built their own wind tunnel, a truly ingenious move to test different wing shapes and designs, collecting data with an unprecedented level of precision. This wasn't guesswork, it was applied science. They made thousands of small, incremental improvements, each one bringing them closer to their goal. Imagine the patience, the dedication required to perform countless tests, facing setback after setback, yet never losing sight of the vision. This wasn't an overnight success story, it was a testament to relentless perseverance and meticulous engineering. And so, we arrive at December 17, 1903. The setting, Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, a desolate, windswept beach, chosen specifically for its steady winds and soft sand, which would hopefully cushion any inevitable crashes. The machine itself, the Flyer Eye, was a marvel of rudimentary engineering. It was fragile, built from wood, fabric, and wire, powered by a small, custom-built engine. It looked almost impossibly delicate, a testament to the raw courage and conviction of its creators. That morning, with a handful of witnesses, literally, only 5 people, Orville Wright lay prone on the lower wing, gripping the controls. Wilbur stood by her, ready to steady the wing as it began its short journey down a launching rail. The air was crisp, the wind biting. There was no fanfare, no grand audience, just a few curious onlookers and the two brothers poised on the brink of history. Then, with a sputtering roar from the engine and the whirring of propellers, the Flyer Eye began to move. It lifted off the ground, hesitant at first, then gaining a shaky, unbelievable momentum. It ascended a mere 10 feet into the air, traveling 120 feet in a breathtaking 12 seconds. Imagine those 12 seconds. For the Wright brothers, it must have felt like an eternity, a culmination of years of tireless work, endless calculations, and unwavering belief. For humanity, it was a sudden, dramatic shattering of ancient limitations. It wasn't a soaring, graceful flight. It was a jerky and certain hop. The machine pitched and swayed, fighting against gravity and the wind. It was, by all accounts, a fragile flight. But it was flight nonetheless. It proved that a heavier-than-air machine, carrying a human, could indeed achieve sustained, controlled flight. That short hop wasn't just a technological achievement, it was a philosophical one. It was humanity's defiant yes to the age-old question, can we truly fly? That initial flight, short and awkward as it was, ignited a spark that would soon engulf the entire world. It was a testament to human ingenuity, perseverance, and the sheer audacity to dream beyond perceived limits. From that fragile flyer, born of bicycle mechanics and endless dedication, blossomed an entire industry. Within decades, planes were crossing continents, connecting cultures, and shrinking our vast planet. The perspective of humanity irrevocably changed. Think about it. From those 12 seconds, we went to commercial airliners carrying hundreds of passengers, to supersonic jets, to rockets that leave our atmosphere entirely. Every single aspect of modern aviation, from the largest jumbo jet to the smallest drone, owes its existence to the foundational principles painstakingly discovered and proven by the Wright brothers. They didn't just build a plane. They laid the blueprint for a future where the sky was no longer a barrier, but a highway. Their story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the biggest leaps come from the most unassuming places, driven by quiet determination and an unwavering belief in what's possible. It wasn't about being the smartest or the wealthiest, it was about being the most persistent, the most observant, and the most dedicated to solving a problem that everyone else had deemed insolvable. So, the next time you look up at the sky and see an airplane soaring gracefully overhead, take a moment to remember that fragile, momentous flight at Kill Devil Hills. Remember the Wright brothers, two visionaries who, with ingenuity and grit, took humanity's first, tentative step into the boundless blue. They didn't just build a machine, they lifted our collective spirits and showed us that with enough courage and curiosity, even the most impossible dreams can take flight. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey today. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible moment in human history, please hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories. Your support helps this channel soar. See you next time.